Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike. He's Jay, and I said, God damn! Can we free Mel Gibson?
Say it, don't spread.
We have long
been advocates of that.
You're gonna learn today. That long dick, you're gonna learn today.
Listen, guys. Here we go. Fucking Mel Gibson was back in full force with Bloodfather.
Yes.
I'm telling you guys, I didn't expect much from it. It's not one of those scripts or one of those ideas that come along and you're like, oh, it's going to be an amazing movie. But because Mel Gibson's in it and because Mel Gibson is the fucking bee's knees, the godfather, the cockswinger of all time action movie guys. He's not, but he's up there.
My favorite.
He was going to be in this movie. I'm like, definitely give it a chance. He took it, he grabbed it, he fucked the shit out of it, and he gave you something great. He gave you, you know what?
If I woke up in a field.
Yep.
Naked.
Okay, I don't want to go with there.
And I didn't know who my parents were.
What are you, fucking Kal-El?
My three fathers would be Mel Gibson.
Three fathers? You're really
I'm a fucking amalgamation. Mark Hoppus. And Brett Favre. Turkey base.
My father would be, Jesus. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend. It would be, yeah, I go with Mel Gibson. I'd actually go with Bruce Willis.
You can't have my dad.
I go with Bruce Wilson. Fuck you. Greatest Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard. Okay. So this movie, Bloodfather. Basically, it's a very simple plot. Bloodfather it's about, what are you doing? You were like making.
I was having a private fucking moment.
Okay, good. Bloodfather is literally about oh my God, why don't you just tell it?
He's an ex-con, and he did a lot of drugs, and he was maybe a part of the Aryan Force.
I don't like that.
No, but he lives in a trailer, and he's straight and sober nowadays, and he's best friends with...
William H. Macy.
Yeah, William H. Macy, and his daughter calls, and she's like, I fucking killed someone in a cartel, and they're all gonna try to kill me, and then Mel Gibson goes, fucking Mel Gibson, and he has to protect her and kicks some ass.
Mel Gibson takes a two-dimensional character on script, which is the main character of this film, this, biker, tattoo, turn good guy, former inmate, and makes him fucking relatable even in some way, because like, what would you do for your kid? You'd do anything for your kid, even if your fucking kid you hadn't seen for fucking 12 years or whatever it is, been missing, been on milk cartons. It's an action movie, and Mel Gibson is playing it as a strict action guy, but there are feels in it. Like, because Mel Gibson, you can't not watch a Mel Gibson movie and have some moments that are emotional and impactful.
His eyes make me cry.
They do, every time I see him.
That's the thing,
His beard made me cry.
This movie, okay, it's based on a book, and apparently the book's amazing. So there's parts in this movie that you feel like they're kind of forced in, and you feel like, why did we have to go there? But you can tell that was an important part in the book, and the movie felt the need that it had to go there, even though it didn't fit. So there's problems with the movie, but Mel Gibson takes this movie and like you said, takes it to another fucking level.
I think he does.
Because it's Mel Gibson. It's a great performance by him. He's fucking amazing, and we've been robbed of so many good performances because of fucking PC bullshit.
Fuck them.
Everybody gets drunk every once in a while and says some shit they don't mean.
Yeah.
Get the fuck over it.
Exactly.
Mike Tyson. I mean, for God's sakes. People like Mike Tyson. He's a convicted fucking rapist.
Kanye West.
Chris Brown still sells fucking records. R. Kelly was pissing on little girls.
I was going to say him.
And he still fucking sells records. So
this movie is limited. This could have been just imagine, like, his acting ability is still so on point. He's fleek. He's on fleek. And he
Shut the fuck up.
I know I should never say that. But he can't be like out there anymore. He can't do something that it would be massive and huge hit because they're just gonna rail against him.
Right.
Now,
and so many people are confused, dude. So many people are confused and watching this, and even the people who are giving him praise are confused. They're like, "Wow, I can't believe Mel still has it." Or
why?
This straight to VOD Mel Gibson movie is actually pretty good. And it's like, guys, he hasn't been in anything. He hasn't done anything. It's not a Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal thing. This is a guy who they wouldn't let in the fucking movies. He's always had the talent. He never lost the fucking talent. He's not washed up. There's nothing wrong with him in this movie. It's not a comeback. It's not, oh, he still has it.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's just, he's actually on screen again. He's always been this fucking great. Get Him to the Gringo was fucking great.
And
he's always been this
even
good.
The Expendables 3, he outshined everybody as the fucking villain in that. I mean, how could you not say he's great?
Exactly.
And I'll tell you something else about Bloodfather. Bloodfather is one of those stories that if it hadn't been for Mel Gibson being in it, I don't think it would have been as well received. And we're not sucking his dick. Like, I know that everybody's going to say, well, you guys are fanboys of Mel Gibson, so you're giving this a higher pass than you normally would. No, not at all.
He carries it, man.
The story is decent, okay? It's not great, it's not amazing. The story is decent. But because Mel Gibson is so phenomenal as an actor, and he's got so much left in the tank, and you can tell that this shit has bothered him, and he's got so much to give. So if you're gonna have a 7 movie, now you've got a fucking 11 movie just because Mel Gibson was in it, and he's able to portray this anger and this like regret and this depression and this badassery that you've been missing. He's literally the missing link in what has been like going on. Like seriously,
his name's Link in the movie.
I know. If you look at the cinema now, like how shitty is it that we've missed out on the fact that Mel Gibson could be starring in like the next Patriot or Braveheart? We gotta like deal with him sitting behind the camera where they won't even say his fucking name in Hacksaw Ridge. It says the director, the Academy Award-winning director of Braveheart, because they were probably afraid to say Mel Gibson in the fucking title. Because they were like, oh, we don't want backlash. I mean, get the fuck over yourself.
Right? And that's the thing. He's great in this movie, guys. He has this emotional thing to where he's been through all this shit. He's an ex-con, and his daughter shows up again. And it's not over the top, but later on in the movie, as the movie goes on, it leaks out a little bit. He's like, you know, there's moments where it's the father-daughter, and he's like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I fucked up. I realized the error of my ways. And just because he's so fucking great in this scene, it's not even the script that's great. No. It's the way he delivers the lines. It's every little tiny nuance that he has. I mean, when the fucking guy shaves in the movie, it's interesting. I mean, he doesn't
really
just shave.
I mean,
he's just like, fucking shave my
you know what?
face.
There's things
it's
about
amazing.
There's not just drama going on. There's actually good comedy that's thrown in there.
There's some good jokes in there. He kind of had like a John McClane Die Hard moment. These guys come to his trailer to get his daughter, and he has to protect him. And he's like, the whole time, like he's in the middle of being shot at, and these dudes are knocking over his fucking trailer, which by the way reminded me of Lethal Weapon.
It does,
and they're shooting at him and shit, and he's not even worried. He's like getting the gun out. He's like, God fucking damn it. He's like, this is gonna be a parole violation. He's like, fuck you, and he's like stabbing people and shit. But he's so fucking angry and over the top. It felt kind of like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard at the same time.
It did.
And it was really fucking great. And then like he's so brutal though, like. And he's fucking stacked, by the way. Dude's ripped as shit, which is awesome. But even little scenes, like he catches his daughter doing like heroin or whatever again, or whatever the fuck she was doing.
Cocaine.
There's a calm moment, and she's like, you can tell she's high and fucked up, and he's just sitting there like, and then all of a sudden, like just like on a fucking dime, man, he goes from 0 to 11. He's like, show her with the fucking shutters.
You know what?
It's so good.
I saw that scene, and I swear to God, if he was your dad, if your dad was Mel Gibson, and the way that he can flip on a dime like that and get angry and just be so fucking intense. If I was like, Dad, I'm not doing the dishes tonight. It's fucking Marlene's turn. He's like, you do the fucking dishes because I told you to do them. I'm like, I'd eat Dawn.
It's kind of choppy in certain points. They go to a couple, they go back into this whole biker gang thing, and you're like, why did the movie even go there? Instead of focusing on the good stuff that was happening. There's one villain in the movie who's like a hired gun, and he's fucking badass. Terminator T-1000, super badass, and they just didn't do anything with him. They lost him.
Even the bad guy, the main villain, just kind of went nowhere.
In the ending of the movie, you could see something super touching and super meaningful and super good that I was watching it, and just because it was Mel Gibson, he made me like almost tear up a little bit. But I was watching it thinking if that scene would have been handled by the director a little bit better and maybe fleshed out a little bit more, that scene would have been fucking impactful as shit.
And you could tell he was doing his best.
Yeah,
with
he carried this movie,
and he tried his best to make that one scene something that could last with you.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: the movie is only an hour and 28 minutes, so that's not long out of your day to watch it. And I was invested in it. Like, I mean, within the first 20 minutes, I was fully on it. I never got bored. I never got bored. Like directorial issues, yes, you got kind of angry about certain things. You're like, well, they could have done this better, that better. But overall, I was invested. I mean, like after the movie, I texted him. I was like, "Fucking, Mel strikes again."
This movie, without Mel Gibson, I don't know what it would have been, but with him in it and the performance that he brought to it, and the girl was good too. I thought she was
good. Yeah,
I've never seen her a lot before, but she was actually really good. William H. Macy was good in it. The villains are just kind of like they're kind of all over the place.
I think though a little bit.
Yeah, they're a little bit all over the place, and you could see watching this where it could have been so much of a better movie. But ultimately, with his performance in it, it comes out as an 8 out of 10 for me.
That's exactly what I'm gonna give it an 8 too. Like I said, I never got bored with it. I thought that Mel Gibson's was dynamite. He was dynamite. There's no doubt that if you're a fan of Mel Gibson, or if you're just a fan of action-oriented movies, to check this out.
Absolutely. Comment down below. Let us know, what are your thoughts on Mel Gibson? Should we hashtag free Mel Gibson? We started that, by the way. Don't let anybody else, now that this has come out, act like they're on the Mel Gibson train. We've been on that fucking Mel Gibson train since like 1999, man. Who knows that
shit?
This is
fucking Polar Express.
We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you.